All right, it is time. It is 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Welcome everyone to Office Hours. Hey, Andrew, how are things?
Oh, not too bad. I'm still getting used to. Somebody pointed out to me yesterday that my desk is mirrored now. If you didn't notice, all of this stuff used to be over here. Now it's over here.
I
So
always thought it was on the right side, but all right,
no,
okay.
no.
Or
Lindsay
my
pointed
right
that out
side, yeah.
yesterday. Yeah. Uh, so I'm still getting used to that. But other than that, still enjoying some nice weather. I can't complain. And it's Wednesday afternoon, so I'm
Heck yeah.
great. How about you?
That's awesome. I'm good. Do you approve my new shirt?
Yes, I do. And that's often what I do. I love it.
I'm so going to wear this for MMS in between when we're not having the speaker attire on, I should say.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's do it. Got a few things to share today.
Yeah, and when I find your screen, I will share it. There we are.
All right, that looks like my screen. First thing that I wanted to share, I think we talked about last week. My tenant had gone to 2601, but in Intune, but the release notes hadn't been updated. So now they're out there. I didn't see anything too earth-shattering that stood out to me, but we have a whole bunch of new settings catalog settings in here. A few settings around agents and AI. Which I think are always good when we, as administrators, get the ability to manage those things for an organization. Additionally, some new where'd they go here? Assignment filters on mobile, so Android, iOS, iPad OS. But one in particular, report update was great that I'm trying to scroll down to here. Oh, and this served as a good reminder as well. We talked about this when the announcement first came out, and if you've been in the Intune Admin Center at all for the last 3 months, 2 months maybe, you've seen that the Intune endpoints were changing, the IP addresses. So this serves as a good reminder here, wrong button, to make sure that if you are managing Intune endpoints in your firewall, go ahead and make sure that you have these IPs updated. Now that we get down here, minor update, but an important one, I think, in the Windows feature update reports, 25H2 is now added as a target OS. So you can plan your update readiness for 25H2 right in Intune. So I was happy to see that. The in development page was also updated. I saw somebody point out this section right here. I'm sure there were a few updates, but they don't update the in development page like they do what's new. So it's not like here are the new things that we've added to the in development page. But here, I thought you especially might be interested in this one, Johan. Keep zooming in. Under this section, Auto Patch Update Readiness, there's a whole bunch of new features that they're working on. No ETA on them yet, but the repair devices with an OS reinstall. Capability that enables admins to remediate upgrade blocked devices by triggering a reinstall for common issues such as insufficient disk space and app compatibility problems. I thought that was interesting, just as another option. I'm curious to see what this looks like in practice.
Yeah, I'm especially curious to how they figure out how to do a reinstall when the system is out of disk space.
Yeah. It's something that I think will be worth us paying attention to for sure.
Yep. Absolutely.
So these are always, we talk about these at least monthly, I think, but the what's new page and the in development page for Intune, always great pages to keep an eye out for. They are updated almost always monthly at a minimum. A couple of other fun things I came across. Damien had another post around Azure Automation and managed identities. This would have been super helpful like 2 months ago for me. In fact, I'm going to implement the way that he did it as well, because I was working on an Azure Automation workbook that just did some simple I said workbook, and just in Azure Automation, that did some simple reporting against Intune and Entra, and I wanted to be able to send that email out. It's not, it didn't seem as easy as I expected when I first got going, but his blog post here shows exactly how to do that. We create an automation, we create a managed identity, give it the permissions required in Graph, and then feed the body of an email with the subject and all other information in there into the send mg user mail commandlet and fire off your email. Pretty straightforward. So if you are using Azure Automation and you need to send an email, recommend reading Damien's blog post here. And this is the section here. He's got a couple of different examples, but this is the exact one that I want to implement, specifically sending an email with an attachment. So pretty cool stuff. Also came across this blog post from Radu on troubleshooting OneDrive silent configuration if that's not working. So this is one that I'm going to keep in my back pocket for sure. A couple of things to look out for when that setting or that configuration profile doesn't actually work. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. It's actually one of my favorite user experience configurations, I think, these days, especially in a cloud native environment where you're heavy users of M365, is simply you go through the autopilot enrollment process and your users are just automatically signed into OneDrive. It's a fantastic experience for our users, I think. So quite a few good tips in this blog post as well. And last but not least, just a fun one. I actually saw that you retweeted this, Johan, but a tweet from Mr. Reboot here, Daniel Card, a little Mac Mini with a wireless KVM, and it looked cool enough that I thought, man, I haven't gotten any new tech toys in a while, and I think I might have to look into this one. Because like you, Johan, I've got some computers that are in a completely different room, and this might be helpful. So I appreciate you retweeting this because I don't know that I would have seen it otherwise.
And you were not looking forward to either go down in the crawl space or up in the attic to run more cables across the house?
No, not so much. I'll go the wireless route. I looked it up, and on the website, it's a Wi-Fi 6 wireless KVM. So I don't know what it looks like in practice, but sounds cool.
I should have made a note of that link, so I can share that in a second also.
Very cool. That was what I had for this week.
All right, then. I have a couple of things I wanted to share. First, something I realized I probably should have known by now, working in IT since pretty much the age of 16, but I have to say Windows was not around at that time. It came a couple of years later, so well, maybe it was that time. Anyway, let's get to it. Where did my screen go? Here.
Windows. Which version of Windows?
Early, but anyhow, apparently in Word, not in Notepad, but Notepad++ and PowerShell ICE and VS Code and whatever, the moment you have a script open or a document open, whatever it is that you want to check, I'm just going to open a script here. This one would be great. You know how when you erase a line, you go like this? Ctrl Backspace deletes the words very, very quickly. I did not know this. I thought that was awesome.
I'm surprised because I think I learned like Shift Home or something from you to highlight an entire line.
That I know for years, but this particular one, I had really no idea. And I was like excited, told Amy, and I was like, yeah, of course. I'm like, you knew? You didn't tell me? But anyhow, I thought that was cool.
It's funny. The look on his face in the video is kind of the same. Like, how did I not know this? I didn't either. Thanks for the tip.
Thank you. All right. I mean, you're welcome. Duh. Then Frank kindly, a fellow here, a friend in Chicago, reminded us that 26H1 Windows 11 actually is available on Visual Studio for download. And for those of you that did not see the 26H announcement or the IT Pro blog announcement of it, just a couple of days ago here, just before our last office hours, it clearly says that it will only be available for new devices and won't be offered as a new update or everything like that. But I could not stop myself. I went over to visualstudio.com. Waited patiently, as you do. Downloads, Windows 11, 26H1, and it indeed available for both 64-bit and ARM. I decided to download those ISOs and extracted a WIM file, and do not do this at all. It's probably not supported, but I did add it into ConfigMgr. You see the version here. That one, I created a sequence for it, and I was just before we started here. I am currently deploying a machine for the first time. I have no idea if it will work. I just started this like 4:20 or something. I just wanted to see if it actually could install. The reason I don't recommend installing it because according to Niehausen, he is practically never wrong ever. You won't be able to upgrade this one to anything later when it comes in 26H2, for example. At least not with the normal updates. I don't know if you could do like an in-place upgrade with a sequence or something, but I thought it was just fun to try. So I figured we could leave this one running. We can check in a little bit later. Now, on this topic, I stumbled across something I also did not know. Apparently, and this is to be tested, you can force apps that requires normally older .NETs to run on system without installing older .NETs by simply telling it to use a later version. And this gentleman who runs this account here had tested with a couple of applications. I think it was Ignite and something else he tried out. And apparently it worked. And apparently this is a big deal for 26H1 that apparently does not come with .NET Framework 3.5, at least not built in. So we'll see. Some testing to be done, but I thought it was interesting enough to share. And then to your point, not sure how this will go on the stream here, but we'll see. Yeah, fine. This was the wireless KVM that was mentioned earlier here. So if you scroll down here a little bit, you can see the different options available. But yeah, I'm looking forward to try. I guess I have to be an early Christmas gift, extremely early Christmas gift, like 10 months early.
Don't go so far ahead. You've got a birthday coming up between now and then, so
That's true. May is coming up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I may have to put in that request. All right, let's see how our deployment is going. Oh, trying to install the agent. Let's see. All right, come back to that one later.
You happen to speak Michael's name and he appeared.
Of course you did.
Said you'll be able to upgrade to 27H2.
Oh, that is good. There we go. It's official. Michael has spoken.
Yes.
I guess I have to try it out and deploy R also now, just because. Anyhow, on another note, Peter van der Voorde released a post covering some of these new features that you mentioned there, Andrew, earlier. Microsoft is adding in recovery option control by Intune into the mix this year. So Peter wrote a blog about this one. I'm not sure if it required an insider preview or not, but anyhow, I thought it was a good read. So I recommend you to check that one out. On another note, I stumbled across this one here from Jürgen. Autopilot device preparation is making some changes. I don't think this is a good idea still, but apparently we can have up to 25 applications now for autopilot device preparation. There is the link to it with the announcement. So fairly recent. Wanted to make that one or show that one. Then I stumbled across, for those of you that are using the Windows subsystem for Linux, you know that it can be interesting to get USB sticks mounted to it. So I stumbled across this little UI on GitHub to easily mount or connecting USB devices to WSL in sort of a almost Rufus-like experience, but a little GUI to do it. Pretty cool. And finally, from I like to say the developer in chief, but Scott Hasselman over at Microsoft, I think he's VP now. He's been with them forever, focusing a lot of development. He mentioned that there was a new version of the Code Complete book that pretty much any developer, it's supposed to be a must read if you happen to be a developer. So I can consider myself very, 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 very part-time developer from now and then, but for most time I'm not. But I figured I would get a copy as well and see what's going on. So, all right, let's go back and check our deployment. Well, it's just a moment, and as you know, a moment is a widely defined time frame.
It's very subjective.
It can be 1 or it can be 12. It's just all right. It's a moment, but well, let's see. Go ahead and close this one. And yeah, of course, updates. I did not feed it with an XML file to not check for updates. I actually have one of those. So I'll let this one sit and we can discuss more fun things in the meantime.
Sounds good.
Because I am done with the news from my part.
All right. Well, we've got a couple hellos here. I see Amir's joining us. Kevin says that KVM looks pretty slick. Added it to his Amazon wish list, as did I. So we'll have to hopefully sometime in 2026 give a little report on our findings there. And Amir had a couple of other useful keyboard shortcuts for you.
Oh yeah.
Control left or right will move the cursor one word at a time, and Control Shift left or right will allow you to select one word at a time.
Awesome. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
More keyboard shortcuts. We approve. Very much so. And yes, there is a ton of them. Why does it not show this one? I was trying to. Here we go.
Yeah.
Second one there. All right.
Great tip.
So, do you guys have any questions for us? We love questions. Another moment over here. Well, it kind of looks like it finished. So in my domain, at least. I take that as a win.
Looks promising.
Skip that for now. Creating my profile. Yeah. Well, looking promising so far. And for those of you that just joined, we're trying out the 26H1 install that you probably should not install, but this is for research, for science.
Exactly.
I don't have a blog named Deployment Research for nothing, or it's for a reason, put it that way. I love research, testing things.
Speaking of deployment research, I was going to ask, did you share, you had a couple of posts recently around TPM and VTPM with Hyper-V. Did you share those on here?
Maybe.
I don't recall if you did, but they're very useful. I mean, considering how important having TPM has become, even in testing.
Well, put it this way, if you have a VM with TPM enabled and you migrate that over to a different host and try to boot it, it will not boot unless you also bring over the certificate. Because the certs are indeed in Cert Manager, there is a node for this. But with a healthy dose of PowerShell, you can just go ahead and export them. So we're looking at that specific node on a Hyper-V host. So just to show you, if I go to let's see what I have here. That was not the right one. See if this little friend is up and running. I know I have a couple of TPM machines on this one. So, get away, make it larger. Here, so this one here. Those are the certs that you have to export out. I usually only have 2, but you can see I have imported from other hosts into this one because I have been migrated VMs over back and forth. And then they will boot.
Nice.
And this post here shows the PowerShell to do it, unless you really like to click around in the UI. Yeah, there is a screenshot also of that one. So yes.
I also think I'll be trying out the other one. You know, if I were to happen to migrate a VM from a host that doesn't support Windows 11 technically to a host that does, I might want to enable VTPM.
That's exactly what I was doing on testing upgrades, and they don't like when you don't have a good TPM.
Yeah.
Or support a CPU for that matter. Another thing I updated, speaking of this mix, I just uploaded that this afternoon. But I made a new version of an export script, this one here, that will allow you to quickly export sequences and also search if any of them were created with an MDT template, because that has to go, unfortunately. Not supported anymore. Max claim it can cause troubles. I haven't seen anything yet, but you never know. So anyhow, if I go over here and go to my temp folder, which you can clearly see it's empty, and go up here and run that script, create a folder, set the variable to the site, and this is something you can run just to show you all sequences that you have, or a specific one that you have, or in this case, just export all sequences into a folder, and it will do that real quick. So it exported, still exporting, about 165 sequences in, I don't know what, 20 seconds, half a minute, give or take. And then I can search them to find any sequences that happen to have that template. And there are 14 of them that does. So this is how you can very easily spot them, because they in them, and that's pretty much the only thing I can think of that has that in them. Worst case, it will be something else that you have that is named that, but you're very likely to have an MDT specific template. Going back to my client here that I deployed, that one is now logged in. And if I do a little WinRAR on this, sure enough, 26H2. it booted at least. Take that as a win.
I think so. With the big reiterate the don't do this.
Exactly. I would put that in writing. Whoops, do not do this. All right. In the name of research only and testing.
Yes. Excellent.
Wonder if the client registered. CFGRC. Well, looks like a happy ConfigMgr client.
Yeah.
All right. Worked.
Real-time research right there.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, we did have a couple of questions come in.
There you go.
We were looking at that. First one here is, have you seen any BitLocker screens with the latest February 2026 patches? Looks to be caused by the CA 2023 changes in devices with older firmware. Seems to be lots of folks on Reddit saying that they've seen this.
I'm assuming, and he's referring to recovery prompts. When I say BitLocker screens, that's usually what people refer to.
That's my assumption too, yeah.
I have not. But we don't have too many customers that have upgraded yet either to that version. Most of them are just starting its pilot, like right now, because they often have a 4, 5, 6 days delay even for pilot patches.
All right. Amir's asking any news on Microsoft bringing back the Secure Boot cert report in Intune. I have not seen anything. So just for some context for those that haven't joined us the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, I think Microsoft released the report that was kind of showing where you were at, where your organization was at in terms of the Secure Boot upgrades. In an Intune report, it wasn't working properly, so Microsoft pulled it down last week. I've not seen... Oh, there we go. That's right. We shared the documentation last week.
Yep.
Looks like it's still down for now. I haven't seen any tweets or anything that indicate, hey, look this week or any... I imagine it's just going to show back up one day for us. Kind of like it did in the first place.
Yeah.
And hopefully new and improved, or working and improved, if I were to extend the comments from last week.
For now, there are a couple of scripts out there that you can run. Niehaus has a PowerShell module to get UEFI information. Richard Hicks has one that we showcased here on office hours, and I've seen a couple of others as well that you can run as remediation scripts in Intune. And basically, you have two options getting that data out of Intune that are, I think, reasonably well. Either you do the nice route and you upload it to Log Analytics so that you can go into your workbooks or your Log Analytics workbooks and you can view that data there. Or you do what we often refer to as poor man's inventory. And that is just going back to regular remediation scripts and just run them, get whatever you collect, whatever you need to collect, because in the status for each of these, you can add in for example, an output from the script. And if you look at that data, this is your inventory. And I use PowerShell to collect this data and download it to my machine and parse it. So if you look closely, this is DO information, something that the Intune does not collect by default, but I have it organized in like sections with a comma separated and colon separated in between. So I basically get a little table back that I parse. So you can do that for the Secure Boot information as well, very, very easily. And that you don't have to spin up a log analytics workspace and then pay for it and whatnot. So a couple of options available. Obviously, log analytics is the nicer one. This is more a hackety hack too. Because I think it's either a 2K limit or 8K limit. There is limitation around on the output, how much you can put there. You might be able to hash it to get it smaller, but anyhow. Okay.
All right. Good. Great tip. Any good tips or links to troubleshooting Intune app failures, not limited to actual download or the execution or detection? Looking to draft a knowledge base article for the service desk on which logs, which paths, and things like that to review.
I need a Rudy for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I know too, a common so as far as logs, the IME logs, right? And a common suggestion that that we've seen, and I've seen a lot of folks adjust to, is to log your application installs to the IME directory. That way, if you want to gather remote diagnostics through Intune Admin Center, for example, you're going to pull those application logs as well.
Yeah, so this one is a little bit older, the one I have on the screen right now, and a couple of things have changed since the log files have changed back in 2024. But this one explains a little bit on how it works behind the scenes. It's a really good one. And something I really liked is this little flow chart that he put together. You basically have to save that image to your hard drive. So I'm going to overwrite that one. And then you have to open it in something creative, because otherwise you cannot read it. It's too small here. So if you open it in Paint, you can actually see what it does. But a beautiful little diagram here on how everything belongs together. And I like documentation like that.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And I did find the blog post where that he wrote when the app workload log and the client cert check logs were released.
So I should share it, you're saying?
Yeah.
There we go.
Which was very nice because it broke a lot of that information out in a much more readable format.
Yeah, I've been maintaining a blog post that I use on how to force application rediscovery or reinstallation. Mm-hmm. I've updated it like 5 times the last 5 years just because things are changing.
Yeah. And a very popular post.
It is a popular one. And it's easier now because now you can get the schedule easier without having to parse log files.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll throw a couple of these up on for the links this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie's asking, do all of your VMs have newer certs with the boot manager signature CA, the 2023 CA, and have the new and newer KEK and ROM certs?
Some have, some don't. You will know when you don't, because when you try to boot them up, you'll get a nice little red thing.
Yeah, last I checked, red's usually not good in these situations.
No, but it's like if you try to apply mitigations and don't have the correct versions of files or certs, you will see something like this. And it will shut down in 10 seconds when you run it. So.
It's a very ominous screen.
Yeah. I remember Frank 2 weeks ago, he shared an article on what Microsoft was working on for the Hyper-V support across the board.
Yeah, I was just trying to find that actually.
I could swear we shared it in office hours.
Yeah, we did. Let's see.
Hyper-V, I found it.
Okay.
This was the post we're referring to. Apparently, they are making changes now into in March. But March is close.
Yeah, somehow.
But we'll put this link up there again. It's a good reference to have.
Yeah, just a follow up here. Had to update VMware Workstation to get it working with the new Secure Boot.
Yeah, good call. I mean, I'm assuming that's correct for pretty much all virtual platforms, VirtualBox, Nutanix, KVM, Proxmox, others, that they have to make changes to support it. Good call. I will actually put that one out there, hoping I can be forgiving, but it is a good tip.
Awesome.
So thank you. Appreciate that. All right.
I just found Broadcom's got a KB article for doing this on ESXi as well.
Okay. Do you have it up on your screen?
Yes, I do.
Can you show the heading one more time?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Right here. So I'll share these instructions if you've got ESXi in your environment. A few steps here to deal with it.
Yeah, and apparently only for version 8.
Yep. I wonder if there is one for... I should look.
I just saw a comment here in the chat that it was not available for 7.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
But it could be that it's hidden somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this line right here, issue occurs when the NVRAM file was generated when the VM was originally created on an ESXi host version earlier than 8.0.2. So maybe just from that version on.
Yeah, the follow-up comment was also that Broadcom does say version 7 is not supported. So that kind of matches what you're reading there.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for that info. Appreciate it.
All right. Got a question here around documentation. What tools do we recommend for documenting Intune policies and configurations? Well, we've got a couple of things.
Well, we have the one and only tool, of course.
This one right here.
Yep, that's the one.
The Intune management tool from Michael Carlson.
Yeah.
There is also the... this is first and foremost, I agree with what you said, Johan. There are several. This is the one that I think both of us use most regularly. There's also M365 documentation. Is that the right one? Yes, from Thomas Kurth. That will do Intune and Entra. And Pretty sure Uber has one now too.
What does he not have? Put it that way.
Exactly. Why can't I find it? I'm almost positive he does.
I wonder if Andrew's toolbox have something.
Oh yeah, maybe. Found it. So we were also put together that awesome Intune webpage that we talked about a few weeks back. That's sort of trying to collect Intune related tools, community tools, and things like that. And he does have the Intune documentation tool that you can either use here, and I think there's also a PowerShell version of it. Like with this, you can literally sign in and document, run the documentation for your Intune tenant. Pretty sure we showed this when it was first released. Just been a little bit, but yeah. Also on top of that, this awesome Intune page is not just a clever name.
It is awesome.
There's so much great stuff here. So those are the three that I would use. Intune management tool, we've talked about many times on here. Really like that one because you can select what you want to export, whether it's just specific configuration profiles or all of them, or a handful of applications. You have quite a bit of control with that.
Yeah, same thing with documentation. If you want to document 5 apps, select 5 apps, hit document, and you have it. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any at the moment.
Yep, I don't think so. Got a lot of links to share today, though.
Yes, indeed. If you happen to be in Chicago on May 14, we will announce an Intune event later this week. You probably won't miss it if you follow any of us on Twitter or subscribe to our newsletter, because it will be there.
Indeed. Very much looking forward to that.
So just to make it clear, it's an in-person Intune event. Full day, geek. It'll be fun.
Can't wait. Did just have another question come in from Richard. Any recommendations for a GPResult type of app for Intune?
No. Nothing I've seen on the client side. It obviously gets uploaded to the tenant, and you have the status for your different policies there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is kind of like a GPResult. At least it shows you what policies have been applied and not applied, because if you get a conflict, you can kind of expect that it is not happy. So if I go to my Intune tenant here, then just pick any of our configurations. Pick someone that I have actually assigned. and it's working. But here you can see that this policy was somewhat happily assigned. And if you go back, you can even go down to press setting status and see there how it's being assigned. So this is the closest thing you have to GPResult. Obviously, you can always go to a client, and let me see if I go over to one of my Intune clients here. I think that one is up and running. And you go to that particular node, Policy Manager. This is where Intune stores most of its policies. Some of them are being transferred over to the normal policy node also, and even some policies you will find in settings. Like if I go to Windows Update and go down to, I do not want to do a pending restart, advanced options and configure update policies, it will show you here what those values are. So some of these settings shows up in the settings app also. Edge policies show up in Edge. If you go Edge : / or / policy, you will see those. Well, there are options, but I don't know of any GPResult type tool. If anyone happen to have stumbled across one, let us know, and we'll be happy to share.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fairly common question. It would be a great tool for for admins, that's for sure.
Just send a hint to Ugur, and I will.
Yeah, right.
Write one over the weekend.
Sort of tangentially related, but definitely not a GPResult type tool, but some other very useful tools, I think, in this area. We've talked about Petri's Intune Device Details GUI, so you can at least see which policies and profiles are assigned to your device. And it kind of builds in some of the reporting that Johan just showed. Very helpful. That might be one of the closest tools to something like that. But I still wouldn't call it a GPResult.
Well, it's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Normal report, thank you. So I'm just launched that script that Andrew mentioned from Petri here, and it will reach out through Graph or to Graph using PowerShell.
This looks like, is this the new one too that opens the HTML report?
Yes.
Nice.
So if you give this a moment to run.
I think really the only reason that it takes a little while to run is because it's looking for everything that's assigned to that device. So you have to hit a whole bunch of different graph endpoints.
Could also be that someone added 700 apps to his tenant. And,
who would do that? Oh, that makes sense.
But yes, it is a beautiful report of a device.
Yeah.
All the different configurations, and it's not really intended for a full HD screen, but it is a really good tool.
Yeah. And another one, it just so happens to be from Ugur, and I just so happened to use it yesterday when I was trying to document some things, is the Intune assignment checker. I'm getting a little further away from GPResult now, but the Intune assignment checker will allow you to specify a user, a group, or a device and see what is assigned to it. So the device details GUI does a fantastic job of the device itself, and some user-based stuff, depending on the primary user of that device. But I was using this for Okay, I've got an Enter ID group, and I know I have a whole bunch of stuff assigned to it, but if I've got 100 profiles that I've got to go through, it's not, you can't really do that easily in the Intune Admin Center. So fantastic tool to do that.
All right, good stuff. Any other question? We still have a whooping 9 minutes.
Oh, Mike's excited to hear about our one-day event. He's just down the road from us, so I hope we see him.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a quick drive up to Naperville from there.
Yep.
I was so happy when they made an exit from 47 to 88, so I can just get up there in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was awesome. Used to be such a pain. You could only go the one direction.
Yep. All right. I do not see any other questions, but thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for the many good comments and shout outs and help in the chat here.
Yeah.
So we certainly hope to see you again next week, 4:30, same time as usual. And until then, have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, Johan. Thanks, everybody.